Story 1. I talk in my sleep. My wife has told me many stories. The best one by far has to be when she was pregnant. She woke up with really bad heartburn and nausea. She tried to wake me up and tell me she's not feeling well. She tells me I legitimately said, "You know those feelings you are feeling? Just turn them off," and fell back to sleep. I'm really lucky my wife knows I sleep talk and loves me. She doesn't hold anything I say like that against me, just teases me a lot. Story 2. My significant other informed me one morning that he had woken up in the middle of the night with my face inches from his, my finger in his ear, and I was apparently whispering, "I just need to get in, let me in." Story 3. She leaned up and got about 2 inches from my face and said, "Two people sleep in a dorm room," then burst out laughing hysterically. It was our first night together. Story 4. My boyfriend once cupped my crotch in his sleep and said, 2 out of 5 stars. Edit. Whoops. I clearly got carried away reading the other comments and forgot it was supposed to be something creepy. Regardless, thanks for the gold. Glad you all get a kick out of my crotch's low rating. And yes, I'm still with the bugger. Story 5. I come in to go to bed, lie down, and am about to turn the bedside lamp off. Cue him turning over, eyes still shut, obviously still asleep. "Don't turn the light off." I'm confused now. Why? They need to see. Now I'm freaking out, wondering who is in our bedroom that I haven't noticed. Who needs to see? The bugs. Why do the bugs need to see? To read. This happened months ago, and I still haven't let it go. Story 6. He did that sit straight up in bed thing that I thought only happened in movies, then shouted, "They're coming for my skin," chuckled, then fell back asleep. Story 7. My mother loves to still bring this story up. It happened back during my 8th grade year of school. One morning she walked in to see if I was awake. So she asked, "Are you awake?" To which I apparently said, "I don't know. Is it meteors?" All while dead asleep. Story 8. Woke up to go to the bathroom one night. As I moved to get up, my boyfriend said, "Don't go out there," thinking he's awake and joking with me. I asked, "Oh yeah, why?" He sat upright, eyes wide open, and said, "She's out there," then flopped back down asleep. I held it for the rest of the night. Story 9. Initially, he just mumbled something I couldn't understand. I turned around to face him and asked him what he had said. He responded in his sleep, "Don't worry about it," and then laughed in this villainous way that I've never heard him use while awake. It honestly creeped me out. Story 10. I talk in my sleep, and my girlfriend told me this story after we woke up. I had evidently turned toward her, shook her with my face, and yelled, "They took my goddamn arms, Johnny," before slumping back over and going back to sleep. Edit. I never thought dramatic sleep me would ever do anything to warrant such a reaction. Thank you. Also, thank you very much for the gold and silver, strangers. Story 11. I'm not sure what's more terrifying than your significant other sitting upright and saying, "They're here," only to collapse back into their deep slumber. Edit. Didn't expect this thread to gain so much attention as it did. Thank you. Story 12. My fiancé is super active while sleeping. He used to bother me, but now I'm used to it. One time, I asked her to give me her pillow while she was sleeping, and she said, "Okay," and then pulled it out from under her head and threw it at me. She slept the rest of the night without a pillow and was quite upset when she woke up without a pillow after I told her what she did. Story 13. I talk in my sleep regularly. One instance comes to mind. My significant other said she was going to the bathroom in the middle of the night. On her way back, I said, "It's following you," and went back to sleep. Story 14. Kill the writers. My brother once woke me up screaming a number in his sleep. None of us could understand the significance of this number until a rerun of Mythbusters came on. It was the length of track from when they raced toy cars versus real cars. Story 15. My girlfriend fell out with me while she was sleeping one night. She asked me to pass the light-up picture frame, and when I asked her what she was talking about, she shouted, "Fine, I'll get it myself," and actually started walking around the room looking for something. It's not really creepy, but I don't get a chance to tell the story often. Story 16. Not entirely a talking in her sleep story, but when my significant other is stressed, she has dreams about spiders crawling everywhere. One night I was reading and she was asleep. She suddenly sat up and just stared at me. I asked her, "What's up?" Significant other, "The spiders." Me, "What spiders?" Significant other, "There are spiders coming out of the poster." Me, "There are no spiders." Asterisk, she stares at the poster. Asterisk. Significant other, "No, the spiders." Me, "Go back to sleep." Then she just collapsed back into her pillow, back asleep. When she first sat up and stared at me, I thought this was suddenly a horror movie and I was dead. Story 17. My girlfriend will do this every so often, but this one time she was having a really bad nightmare and she just screamed at the top of her lungs right into my face. I woke up with an adrenaline rush that is still my closest guess for what cocaine feels like. I woke her up by stroking her hair and whispering to her that it would be okay, and she thanked me the next morning. Story 18. Not my significant other, but still kind of funny and very scary at the time. Little me had a nightmare and went to my parents' room to tell my mom and get a cuddle so I could go back to sleep. I knocked on the door and opened it very quietly so only my mom woke and not my dad, since mom is a very light sleeper and dad a heavy one. I got in, and at that moment, dad jumped out of bed and shouted, "I do not want to see you here again." I fled up the stairs and cried, and mom followed me and told me she didn't know what happened either. Dad says he doesn't remember it, but I sure do. Story 19. My girlfriend, now wife, and I were sleeping in my bed in college. Due to not being able to control the temperature in my room, which was kept at a tropical 105 degrees despite it being a brutal winter, we always slept with the window open and my bedroom door cracked for circulation. I also lived on the ground floor apartment of a brownstone in Boston. In the dead middle of the night, she starts smacking me. Girlfriend, babe. I startle awake. What? Girlfriend, whispers. There's someone standing in the doorway. Adrenaline starts pumping, and I prepare to fight the intruder. I quickly scan the room for something to make an impromptu weapon out of. Finally, my eyes adjust to the dark. I'm fully awake, and I see that no one is actually there. Me, "No, there isn't, you're sleeping." Girlfriend, muffled laughing. She had zero recollection of the entire incident the next morning. I had to recount to her how she almost made me panic in the middle of the night. Story 20. I thought she was awake, but we were lying in bed last week, and this is how it went. Girlfriend, "I'm gonna poop myself." Me, "What?" "No, go to the bathroom." Girlfriend, "Ugh, I'm going to poop the bed." Me, "Why don't you go to the bathroom if you need to poop?" Girlfriend, "What? That doesn't make any sense at all. I'm trying to make these trees grow. Just be quiet." This is when I realized she was sleeping and started laughing hysterically, which made her angry. She didn't remember any of it the next morning. Story 21. Not so much creepy as it is odd, but I overheard my wife accurately recite my social security number aloud while sleeping. When I told her about it the next morning, she said I had to have been making that up, as she definitely does not know my social security number. I didn't believe her and made her swear to me and on our marriage that she wasn't lying, and she said that if someone was pointing a gun to my head and that he would pull the trigger unless she accurately recited my social security number, she'd tell me she loved me and that she'd remember me fondly once I died. It was the oddest thing. Story 22. My fiancée is Chinese and didn't have the best upbringing there. It is common for her to yell in a distressed tone in her sleep, uttering random Chinese phrases. It was absolutely terrifying the first few times experiencing it. Now I just cuddle with her a little bit harder when it happens. Story 23. My wife doesn't talk in her sleep, but I did wake up once to her sitting up, leaning over me and staring at me Paranormal Activity style. It was terrifying, and she has no recollection of it. Story 24. My brother, not my significant other. When we were little, we had rooms across the hall from each other, and I'm a terrible sleeper, so I was randomly awake one night. Walking back from the bathroom, I hear him shout at the top of his lungs, "Lana Llama, don't touch my pumpkin." It was February. Story 25. A compilation. All of these start with her shaking me awake. Her. Shoo. They're on the roof. Me. Who? Her. Falls back asleep. Her. Where is he going to sleep? Me. Who? Her. The man who's here. Points. Me. What? Her. Falls back asleep. Her. I see it over there by the stairs. Me. Silently afraid. Her. Falls back asleep. Her. Do you see her? Me. Sigh. Who? Her. The lady in the corner. Me. There's nobody there. Her. Her eyes. Me. There's nobody there. Her. I hope she goes away. Falls back asleep. Me. Unable to sleep. She never remembers saying this stuff. Story 26. I honestly started keeping track of the weirder things and conversations we've had that she remembers nothing of. November 25th. She wakes up. So, fish sticks. Clear and loud. Me fish sticks? What do you mean? So, are you making fish sticks? Me yes, I'm making fish sticks. So, okay. Goes back to sleep. Story 27. I was rearranging my pillow nest in the middle of the night, and he must have felt threatened. Whoa, 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 no, whoa, put those down, whoa, whoa, please no. Some other delightful experiences. By fortuitous design, we are asleep with our faces 1 centimeter apart. Him. Barks loudly like an aggressive, ferocious dog. Me wake up completely due to mini heart attack and scream. Him. Whines softly like a chastised dog. He sits up suddenly in bed, laughing like a maniac. Me, it's okay, go back to sleep. Him. Me. Falling back asleep. Him. No, you go back to sleep. Me, just lie down. Him. Goes from a 90-degree angle to a 45-degree angle, and his sleeping self pretends to be asleep, and in doing so achieves true metastatus. Me. I know you're not lying down properly. Him. Yes, I am. Me, okay, whatever. Story 28. I posted this in a similar thread months ago, but it's relevant. Same house, same bedroom, different women, 5 years apart. First woman, we are asleep in bed, and she takes this huge, deep breath that wakes me up. Then she says, "They are here now and want to speak to you. I'm going to let them use me." So, of course, I wake her up violently like, "What?" All she can tell me is that she saw several shadowy people in her dream who told her that they had a message for me but needed her to talk to me. Okay. Second woman, we are asleep together and the same thing happens. Deep, long breath that wakes me up. Except this time she screams, "There are people in this room with us." I get her calmed down by assuring her that we were alone. She never sleeps over again. I sell the house. Story 29. It's touching her with its scaly hooves, followed by "I can't swim, but neither can the lizard horses." I guess she was dreaming about lizard horses. Story 30. I'm the sleep talker. My ex-wife said I would sit up just about every night with my eyes open, tell her I love her, and then lie back down and fall asleep. Story 31. I've told this on here before, but my husband is out of control with his sleep talking. You almost can't call it sleep talking, because you would swear this man knows exactly what he's doing. It isn't just talking. He gets up out of bed, will literally be walking around the house doing things like he's totally aware. Could hold a full conversation with you. Takes a minute to realize whether he's awake or not. He's so sure of himself. So probably the scariest thing was one night we're knocked out. It has to be like 3 a.m., and his big self bolts out of bed like I've never seen in my life, waking me up and frantically yelling, "We have to go now. We have to get out of here. Follow me. Hurry up." I literally go into full panic mode and start trying to grab things and get my dogs, all while trying to ask him what is going on. But he's so serious about this that I just trust that there must be something bad happening. Within a minute or so, I noticed that as frantic as he was walking around, he wasn't really doing anything, just kind of going in circles. At that point, it clicked that he wasn't really awake. I had been woken up from a dead sleep too, obviously. So I started saying his name over and over and telling him it was okay, and he kind of just snapped out of it and was like, "Oh, sorry about that." Definitely was freaked out for a minute there, though. Story 32. My significant other is an anesthetist. He frequently dreams about work. Sometimes I wake up to him sitting straight in bed, staring at me. When I talk to him, he doesn't answer. When I ask him in the morning, he remembered watching if I was breathing or needed an intubation. This happened quite often when he just started working in his field. One time he woke me up by saying, "I know, we have it somewhere around here. This huge wrought iron. I never got to know what it was." Story 33. Not my significant other, but one of my friend's mother used to talk in her sleep frequently. Apparently, she was petting her boyfriend's hair and telling him all the ways she could kill him and make it look like an accident. Told her about it in the morning, and she just laughed and said they weren't bad ideas. Story 34. Not my significant other, but my college roommate slept with his eyes half open and talked in his sleep occasionally. The one thing I really remember him saying is, "No, Grandma, the Browns. They were from Ohio." Story 35. My girlfriend at the time was working for the welfare department. I got up during the night to go to the bathroom, and when I came back into my bedroom, she was sitting upright and sternly telling me that I had not correctly declared my income and assets. She had no recollection of it the next day. Story 36. My wife has occasional night terrors. One night, she woke up screaming, thinking something was in the corner of our room. It really freaked me out because I woke up to her trying to escape through the wall while pulling her lamp from the socket and throwing everything off her nightstand. My dog and I just looked at her, super confused. The dog left the bedroom and slept in the guest room that night. Story 37. In a king-sized bed on vacation, we have a queen. Her, "I love you." Me, "I love you too." Her, "I love you, big old bed." Me, "Big old bed loves you too." Her, "Oh my God, big old bed. You can talk." I don't know if this is creepy so much as adorable, but I suppose the concept of a talking bed might be creepy.